Good morning, students. Today we are going to start a new topic, and the name of the topic is recording of business transactions. All right. So, what to do in this thing? So far, in the definition of the accounting, you have read about accounting is a process and where we identify and record. And in accounting, that recording is very important. And in this regard, we have to keep in mind that not only recording is not enough, rather we have to record all those things in a systematic manner, systematic and chronological order. And what is the meaning of chronology? Chronology means date wise. So let us see what to do in that recording of the business transaction in a systematic way. So we have few rules for debit and credit. Now the question is, you may ask that question, what is the meaning of this debit and what is the meaning of this credit? They don't have exactly any such meaning. Only one thing just to keep in mind: if you make an account, we make an account just like, let me show you. We just make an account. I'm just drawing it. Okay, student, just to see here we have rules of debit and credit. Now you may ask that what is the meaning of debit and credit? They don't have any exact meaning as such. Just you have to keep in mind that we make account. What is an account? We will read it later on in details. So if using mouse to draw something, it is a very cumbersome process. I am not an expert of it, but then also I am trying it. Okay, you have to consider this one as a straight line and this one also a straight line. All right, now this format, this is a, we call this one as an account. When we will prepare this account and we will learn it in details, that time we will see or we will draw this format properly. But for the timing, just to keep in mind that we prepare account on this way, and this is just looking like a T shape, T. In your alphabet there is a alphabet T, so it looks like a T. Now anything, any item, if we write in this left hand side, we consider that one as debit. What you consider that one as debit. And anything what we write in the right hand side, that is known as credit. So in this T-shaped account, anything written in the left hand side is known as debit, and anything written in the right hand side is known as credit. This is a simple definition whatsoever I got so far. This is that definition. Alright, so we got what is the meaning of debit and credit. Now we have to learn about the rules of this debiting and crediting, how to do it. So the rule is written here. The rule is written here. There, see, we have 3 columns of this table: items, increase and decrease. And whatever transaction takes place does not matter. We have to keep in mind we can divide those all transactions in these 5 categories. And what are those categories? First one is the assets, second one expenses, third one liabilities, fourth one revenue, and fifth one capital. Now the rule is, if asset increases, then we have to debit that asset, and just opposite, if asset decreases, then we have to credit. And students, I hope you can recall what is the definition of assets: anything from which we will get benefit in future, that is asset. So if asset will increase, you have to debit that asset. If asset will decrease, you have to credit the asset. Next item is the expense. Expense means, you know the definition of expense, any cost incurred to earn revenue is known as expense. Now if expense will increase, then also you have to debit, and if expense decrease, then credit. Alright. Next we have the liabilities. Liabilities means any obligation what we have to pay in future. And the rule of liabilities increase, then we have to credit it. If liabilities will decrease, then debit. Next item, it is revenue. Revenue means any income whatever that business received from by selling of goods and services. Revenue, if revenue increases, then credit. If revenue decreases, then debit. Next, capital. If capital increase, then credit, and if capital decrease, then debit. So this is the rule, and if you can understand or if you can memorize this particular rule, you will never make any mistake in passing journal entries. And these journal entries are the basic thing of our accounting system. So let us have a quick recall. We have divided all the transactions in 5 broad categories. What are those? Assets, expenses, liabilities, revenue, capital. Assets and expenses have same rule. If those increase, then we have to debit. If those decrease, then credit that. On the other hand, liabilities, revenue and capital, these three have same rule: increase credit and decrease debit. So this is these are the rules of debiting and crediting of different items. Next, we have to learn how to journalize things, journal. And in this regard, students, you have to keep one thing in mind. This rule, rule of debit and credit, whatever we have learned, this is completely based upon two things. One is dual aspect concept. Dual aspect concept, I hope you know that every transaction has at least two aspects, and another thing is the basic accounting equation, that is asset is equal to capital plus liability. These two are the base for our passing these all journal entries what we will read later just in this topic. And these journal entries, these are the basic of all of our accounting system, that whole accounting system. So this is very important. So now let us take some example and see that how to pass a journal entry. So this is our first example. Started business with cash rupees 50,000. Now let us see how to proceed to pass the journal entry. In these, those items, those accounts which are involved here, let us see that there are two accounts. As we know that dual aspects concept, for every transaction there must be two items. So let us search what are those two items. One item is very simple, here it is cash, so cash. Another item is the started business with cash. Now students, I hope you know that what is the term we use if we start business with some cash. That particular thing has a term, and what is that term? That is the capital. So these are the two items, these are the two accounts involved in this. One is cash and another one is the capital. Now let us see how to proceed. Now we have to find out this cash belongs to which category, which item, what we have read in the rule of debit and credit. This cash belongs to assets. So now in a business, if cash will come, then what means if we start the business with cash, then obviously the cash balance of the business will increase, will go up. So that is the next thing, that asset will increase. And just try to recall that rule of debiting and crediting. If asset will increase, then what we have to do? We have to debit that asset. Okay. On the same way, capital belongs to the category capital. Capital has a special category, okay, and then capital come in this also. If we bring capital in the business, then obviously our capital, the capital of the business will increase, and therefore, if recall that rule, if the capital increase, then we have to credit it. So this is the way to think how to pass the journal entry. So please take care in the beginning when you are trying to pass those journal entries, and try to follow these particular procedure. Try to recall, try to find out that what are those accounts are involved, then they are from which category, and so on. And after that, slowly you try to find out that whether you have to debit it or credit it. Now, if you see that how to pass the journal entry, what we call as the journalizing, and what is its format. There is a format for this. Let us see how to draw it. First you draw this line like this, then again another line like this parallel to first one, next one line this side. This line is optional, and another line is this side. This line is also optional. You may draw, may not draw, no problem. Next, start from this side, draw one line here, draw another line here, draw another line here, and draw another line here. Okay, and at this line, now you just draw it, no problem. But when you will solve many questions together, we'll do this one at the end of that all transactions. Alright, now let us see what we have to write here. First column is date, second column is particulars, next column, this column is L full stop is, what it is known as, I am telling you a bit later. Next it is amount rupees, and next it is amount rupees. And above these last two columns, you have to write this column is for debit and this column is for credit. So this is the format. Now, as we have seen in the previous slide that we have to debit cash. So let us see how to pass this journal entry. You have to write on this way: cash account debit to capital. You just recall we had credited capital, but we are not writing here credit. Simply we will write to capital, and then debit amount in this column, in the debit column, and this credit amount in this credit column. Okay, and this why you have passed this particular journal entry, you have to write a short note, and this is a short note: started business with cash. And this short note is known as narration. This is this short note just to state why this journal entry has been passed. Okay, and this LF stands for ledger folio. What is the ledger? What is the meaning of ledger folio? I will discuss that one in next class when we will read the ledger accounts. Next, if you will take that another example, paid wages 5,000. So let us see what are the accounts are involved here. The two accounts here, one is wages and another one is the cash. So let us see that what is the characteristics of wages, or it belongs to which category. It belongs to expense, because you need to pay the wages to earn revenue. That's why it is expense. And as you are the business is paying the wages, therefore the wages will increase. Now, if the expense will increase, then what we have to do? We have to debit it. Next, cash, you already know it is an asset, and here if you are paying wages, then cash will go out from the business. Therefore, the cash balance of the business will decrease, and if asset decreases, then you need to credit it. So let us see the journal entry. So that is the transaction: paid wages 5,000. So format, you already know the format, how to prepare the format, and those things what you have to read in those format. And now first wages account debit, as we have seen there, wages account debit, then to cash account, and the amount 5,000 you have to write in the debit side as well as in the credit side. Don't forget to write down the narration, and that narration is paid wages. If we take another example, that is purchase goods on credit from UB, rupees 15,000. Again, let us see what are the accounts involved here. The accounts, two accounts are purchase. In this regard, students, you have to keep in mind that whenever you will purchase goods, you have to write that one as purchase. If that business firm has purchased some goods, and that goods is obviously for the day-to-day business activities, and therefore you have to consider this purchase. The account is involved here, purchase. Alright. Now this purchase belongs to obviously and another account is UB. So purchase belongs to that of that category of expense. So purchase is an expense, and here if you that business firm will purchase that goods, then obviously that expense will increase, and if expense increases, then you have to debit it. On the other hand, UB is a person from where that business firm purchased those goods. Now you know that if a business firm purchases goods from another person on credit, then that person is known as the creditor. So UB is a creditor here. So let us see, UB is the creditor, and we know that creditor is our liability. Creditor is our liability. So let us see, the moment the business purchase goods on credit from UB, therefore that particular liability will increase, and if that liability increases, then you need to credit it. So let us see the journal entry. Quickly you make that format and write those things as you have become expert. So first, purchase account debit to UB account. Here you have to write UB's account. UB's account. Okay, and the amount is 15,000. And don't forget to write that narration, purchase goods from UB on credit. So this is the journal entry. If we consider another transaction, sold goods for cash rupees 90,000. The business firm sold goods for cash of 90,000. So let us see those accounts involved. Those accounts are, one is cash and another one is the sale. Another thing you have to keep in mind, that whenever the business firm will sell some goods, whether that is on cash or on credit does not matter, this sale account has to bring into consideration. Therefore, if business sold goods, then we have to write sale. If the business purchased goods, you have to write purchase. Okay. Now cash, you already know, it belongs to assets, and here if you sell goods, therefore the cash will come into the business, therefore cash balance will increase, and you know, if asset increases, then you have to debit it. On the other hand, sales belong to revenue, and the moment you have sold goods, that revenue of the business will increase. So revenue increased, and if revenue increases, then credit it. How to write it in the journal entry? Quickly you make the format, and particulars, ledger folio, amount. So cash account debit, as you had done there, cash account debit to sales account, and the amount is 90,000 each. And the narration is sold goods for cash. By mistake I forgot to write here account, but you should write it. Alright, sales account 90,000 each. And if you consider one more example, purchase furniture on credit from Mahi, rupees 75,000. So what are those two accounts involved? Let us see here. One is purchased furniture, that means one is furniture, and another one is on credit from Mahi. So Mahi, another account is Mahi. So furniture comes under the heading of assets, because from this furniture the farm will get benefit for coming year in future. Next, assets, if the farm purchase that furniture, then assets will increase, and asset increases, debit. Mahi is a creditor because the farm purchased that furniture on credit from Mahi. So Mahi is a creditor, and we know creditor is a liability. So creditor increases, and therefore we have to credit Mahi. Students, can you please tell why I have written here furniture and not purchase? So please try to think it and write the answer in the comment section. Why here furniture has been purchased, but I had written here furniture and not purchase at all. Please try to write that answer why. So if I will write that one in the journal, then it will come like this. Make the format. You all are excellent students, so you by this time you have become the master of it. So the furniture account debit to Mahi's account. Again, by mistake I forgot to write it, but you don't make the mistake. You have to write Mahi's account. So Mahi's account to Mahi's account, and the amount has to be written, has to write 75,000 both sides, and then the narration purchased furniture from Mahi on credit. So that's all from this journalizing topic. I hope not that's all, means just the introduction part. We will solve, we will try to solve more transactions where we will do those journalizing matter. So till then, this is that much only. Please go through this video, try to understand, and if you have any doubt, please let me know. I will tell you the explanation. Wish you best of luck. We'll meet you again. Till then, take care and enjoy your study.